Hello, everyone. Good vibes. It is your Good Morning Minute. And with me today, I'm really excited to introduce someone here local in my area, in the Lubbock, Texas area, Tiffany Lilly Essex. Now, she is someone that we work in the same building, but came across when my son was graduating and just through social media. So I'm super excited to get her story out here and you get to know her a little bit better. We're going to talk today about struggle to success, the path a woman took who refused to settle for anything less. What we're talking about here today, friends, is going deep into the story of this extraordinary woman who turned her struggles into stepping stones. They were bold, they were resilient, they faced odds, broke barriers, but they did not settle for anything less. They rised above all adversity, they pushed forward in order to create that path for success. So without further ado, I'd love to give Tiffany a chance to introduce herself. So why don't you introduce yourself to our listeners, Tiffany?
Well, nice to meet you. Thank you for having me, Angelica. My name is Tiffany Lilly Essex. I am the CEO of Brittany and Devin's Angels nonprofit organization. I also work a full-time job at St. Francis Ministries, but then I also own three other LLCs, which one my son manages, and then the two others I manage. And then I'm also a senior at Texas Tech, graduating hopefully guns up next May. Um, I've actually just been a community advocate. I was born and raised here in Lubbock, Texas. So I tried to be a positive role model in the community, not only to women, but also just pretty much anyone that comes in my path that knows me. I'm a resource. I do tons of community events for the city of Lubbock as well. And then I have three kids and a husband.
Wow, a woman with many hats. I totally can understand.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. And it's amazing because I know your heart. I've seen it. I mean, I look on my social media pages and you're everywhere and you're doing everything. And I'm like, I've got to collaborate with this woman
Yes,
just because
ma'am.
of all the amazing things that you're doing out there. And I just know that you have a heart to serve. And that aligns very much with where I'm coming from, too. But it's not always easy. I mean, it's not like one day you just rolled out of bed and you had all of these things in place,
Yes,
right?
ma'am. No, ma'am, I definitely didn't. I'm still working on growing myself as well.
Yeah, I think for many of us, we are constantly growing. Um, so let's just dive right into it because that's the way I like to do things. What common struggles did you face on your path to success?
Well, a lot of people they don't actually know, but my organization itself was actually implemented behind a tragic accident that actually happened for my family. 19 years ago, I have two sisters that was actually impacted in the fire, and then I had three nieces, and then two nephews. They actually had a house fire in 2005. I lived two houses down from them. So we their house caught on fire. My older sister, which is Demetra, she had three girls. They were able to escape out of a window the size of a notebook.
Hmm.
My other sister, Brittany, the one that my organization is named after of, she actually saved her oldest son, which is now he's 25. She went back to go get her other son, and he actually was hiding under the bed. So both of them actually passed from smoke inhalation.
Hmm.
They lived two houses down. They had literally just left my house maybe 30 minutes before the fire actually took place. And it was just a cold night in December. They were just trying to stay warm with the fireplace, and the house caught on fire and it almost exploded.
Oh, wow.
So at that time, I was a single mom. I had a little boy. He was one. My son now he's one. He was one. So I was working two jobs, of course, and at 20, I was 21. I would have never thought that I would have to bury a sister and a nephew by myself.
Hmm.
So my older sister that was in the fire with her daughters, their kids, they made it out okay. They had a few scratches and bruises, My other sister, she was actually in ICU up until the day of the funeral. My mom, she didn't take it too well. And then, of course, I had other siblings, but I was the one who had to take care of the funeral arrangements, plan for the church, clean the fire. My dad's house, I stayed 2 houses down from the house. So that was something that I had to deal with every day up until the time that I lived there. My sister, she didn't have life insurance. Our life insurance actually took place the next week. We had just sat down and had a family meeting and to get life insurance, and it took effect. So I had to pretty much come up with almost $20,000 in a week's time to bury my sister and my nephew, not including the clothes, everything that my other sister and everything they had lost. At the time, I was working part-time at KFC, and then I was working full-time at Convergys. So we had just, poured in my church, the fire department, the nurses at the hospital at UMC at the time. They were able to just pour me and my family. We had the community come and support with just about everything we need. We had meals for a month. We were blessed to have the kids, a nice Christmas. The owners from one of the organizations I work for, part-time, they actually flew in from Dallas and had me go meet them at the funeral home. And me just thinking, hey, they're going to give me a donation or just some food or something, or give their condolences to me and my family. So they knew I had worked there for their company for, I think, maybe 5 years, and I only worked one day. And they knew me. They knew I was a hard worker, and my son, he was at the time, I only had one kid. So they came, they met me at the funeral home, and he was like, she came and she gave me a hug, and she's like, well, I talked to the funeral director, got the total balance for the funeral for your sister and your nephew, and here's a check. They gave me $20,000.
Wow.
And she told me, she's like, I don't want you to pay anything back. You continue to work for us as long as you want, and whatever you take all the time off that you need, you just make one promise to me to just continue to give back to the community and to others. Don't ever mention, that's why I mentioned their name, the company or anything. And that's what I did. So every year, I started off small at Grace Campus, which we started off, it was my first time ever doing any type of volunteer work. So we went to Grace Campus and I bought donuts and hot chocolate, and we literally had a coffee pot, and I was making it with my nieces and my kids. And then I had a couple of volunteers in the community. We just did hot chocolate and donuts. So now we've grown. I continue to go over there. I go over there more than once a year, but for Christmas, that's my huge event. I go out there, we cater a Christmas dinner for them. I give all the residents, I try to bless them with the hygiene bags and groceries for at least a month. So because with the conditions of their homes, so we just bless them. And I've just continued to grow in the community. We do tons of community groups. I just now recently started a mentorship program with my nonprofit where I have increments of 20 to 25 kids, and we meet quarterly. So I teach them basic life skills, things that I had and my kids that I want to empower them with. My son, I just definitely make sure that I bless him. I have my 12-year-old. She's actually one of the co-founders of one of my LLCs. So I would just try to give my kids and bless them with things and tools of life early so that they won't be my age going to school or having to worry about what they're going to do next, or just basically going to work for anybody else. You can do whatever you put your mind to it, and as long as you stay consistent and you stay humble, you'll stay blessed. So I've continued to do that. I've grown in the community. I try to work with other organizations, but of course on my schedule. And then my LLCs, one of the LLCs is my gift baskets, and that's pretty much my baby. I just pack my house up whenever I do major holidays. So, and then when people order from time to time, they can order baskets and stuff. But that's pretty much myself in a nutshell. I just, whenever I give you my word, I'm gonna be late, but I definitely try to hold it. So next year will be my 20th anniversary of my sister and my nephew passing. So my plans is to have a pretty big event for the city of Lubbock, just giving back to the youth because adults, they some will change, some won't change, but it starts with the kids. You want to give back to the kids, show them you make a mistake, you can overcome that challenge, and you can pretty much do anything you have your mind set. Don't let one thing dwindle you, hinder you, or let one type of tragedy hinder you as well for being successful in life. I'm not where I want to be just yet, but I mean, I've been blessed. My family, the support system I have for the community, anytime I have an event or need something, I mean, I just have people pour in and call me and want me to be a part of their organization. So it's pretty exciting when I have people that say, hey, Tiffany, we just want you to be on board or come have lunch with us or just sit and listen. So I'm glad I can be inspiration to other ones, but especially my kids, because I didn't have a mom growing up. My dad actually raised me until I was 16. So my mom, she stays here in Lubbock. She's just not active in my life, but I want to be a mom that they have. Hey, my mom's there for me on my good days. She's there for me on my bad days. And just we pray and get through it together.
Wow. Wow. That, I mean, and it's amazing. I mean, the stories, because you definitely hear the struggle. I mean, what I'm hearing is you came from a background of, you know, an inconsistent mother, being raised by your dad, being a single mother, low income, working at KFC. And so, you know, I can just imagine. And then all of a sudden life throws these things at you. And so you're making the ends meet. We're surviving, right? We're in this. And then this is what life is giving you. And the amount of support that just surfaced and bubbled up during this time of uncertainty, no wonder you want to give back to the community, because that was very much what you received during your time of need. So let me ask you, Tiffany, what kind of societal or maybe cultural factors contribute to some struggles that women go through in situations like yourself, or others that you kind of stepped in and help through?
I would say, I mean, women, they go through several obstacles. In course, one, they have social expectations, work-life balance. I have tons of notebooks and my phone for a calendar. That's a good resource. But a lot of women just are like intimidated or they are afraid. I feel like I have very few women that I can just call. Maybe I can count them on my hand and say, hey, what do you think about this idea? And they were like, hey, you may think that I don't want you to think that I'm better than you or trying to like outdo each other or trying to do it. It's hard for, I don't know how to say it, but I'll just say it like it's hard for women to empower the next woman without them thinking that, hey, she's going to try to outdo me if she does this. No, I want to be like any woman. Hey, I want to start a 501c. Okay, let's set up an appointment. We'll work together and we'll get it done. A lot of women have that, I don't know, I guess maybe a fear of helping someone else. It's going to be like a crime or they're trying to outdo me or they're trying to do it. So a lot of women are intimidated to go ask other women for help. Of course, men will help, but it's different when you're getting it from another woman. Hey, I want to build this woman up. I want her to be better. Everyone that's on my board, I would say not 90% of them are women. And a lot of the people that I interact with are women. I want to help you be better than me. I want us to be on the same level. My goal is for you to do better than what I'm doing. So that's just the type of the woman I am. And I try to encourage other people around me to do it. Of course, it don't happen all the time, but that's one thing a lot of women are intimidated of trying to help each other and not like feeling like, oh, this person is going to judge me because they did this or I did this.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's one main struggle that a lot of women have is they're afraid to reach out to others because they're going to be afraid they're going to be judged or they're going to be pushed off because they feel like they're trying to do something better than them.
Yeah, that is a fair statement, because we as women, we're the first to tell you,
Yeah.
you're just doing it all wrong. Um,
Yeah.
And I don't know, I honestly don't know if that's just a societal or a cultural, like, competition, because I know the workforce that we're in for so long, I mean, just historically speaking, men dominated those
Yeah,
areas, any type of leadership. I mean, even in churches and things like that, like, men dominated a lot of that stuff. So for any woman to step into, quote unquote, a man's pair of shoes, they had to be very strong and competitive, almost in masculine energy, just to uphold that. And then I think that just kind of became, I don't know, a statement or a staple
yeah.
for us as women, that we have to look out for ourselves. And I think that is one thing, much like yourself, that I want to try to change, because I want to be someone that leaves a legacy where women are like, no, let me help you, because we can get a lot further and a lot more done if we help each other than, worried about you being better than me or anything like that. Because everybody, God has blessed everybody with different gifts for sure. And
Yes.
I can't be all the gifts, Tiffany. You can't be all the gifts. Um,
Yes, ma'am.
but we can come together and unite in our gifts and create a whole other special thing that the world could benefit from, for sure. Uh, so in your story of struggle, I mean, you're getting hit with things left and right, and I don't know where this is gonna, how we're gonna come up with this money. I don't know how this is gonna happen. We are time restricted, but you didn't settle. You didn't settle for anything less. What do you think it was that kept that determination to persevere? What was that for you?
I would just say my drive, my motivation. I seen my dad do it. 5 kids, single dad. Granted, we have to eat chicken every day, but I mean, he made a
Mhm,
way. He made sure we went to church. He made sure we had clothes. He made sure we had food. He made sure we were able to survive. We didn't have everything that we wanted, but we had everything that we need to be able to make sure we take care of each other. My kids definitely don't have everything that they want in life, but they have everything a kid would need. I mean, they have clothes, they have water, they get to interact with other people in the community, they get to see their mom do something in honor of them. A lot of the stuff that I do, I make sure they're with me right by my side, and hey, this is how I want you to do it. And they see me just leading the way. Like we'll do an event and they're like, man, that's my mom right there. And I'm here helping. Like I'm involved and I'm interacting with her and I'm doing it. And that's just my motivation. That's been God first and then making sure my kids. Of course, I definitely couldn't do it without my husband because he wants to kick me out half the time at the house. But I mean, they're just with me. And I mean, every morning I get up, that's the first thing I do. I get up, I pray, and I thank God for them first. My family. I
mhm,
mean, I have a small family here in Lubbock, but they're really supportive, but mainly them. I want to give them the life that I didn't have when I was younger.
mhm,
And that's 2 parent home, being able to, hey, I want to take a vacation. Let's take a vacation and not have to worry about bills. I want ice cream every day. Some small stuff that we may take for granted. I mean, that's what they like. We go to the park, movies. My daughter now, she's getting to the teen stage. She likes nails and hair. That's something I can do for them, and I don't have to worry about, okay, do I get her hair done or do I buy dinner? Do I get her hair done to pay my lights? I've
mhm,
set myself up and I've been able to budget and manage my lifestyles and be able to provide that for them because when I was younger, we didn't get to go to the beauty shop to get our hair done,
mhm,
nails done. We had to go to the Dollar and polish, and that was us. We had it. My dad once a year. We had to go get a pair of tennis shoes that lasted me all school year. And if
mhm,
I got them dirty, put them in the washer, scrub them with the toothbrush, and that's what I had. So that's
mhm,
just my motivation is making sure my kids have whatever I didn't have in life.
mhm. And kids, I mean, kids can be that factor that, because working in the field that we work in, as far as foster care and children, um, coming from broken homes, uh, I I would often work with clients and say, I'm just one choice away from being on the other side of the table, really. And I think having children and just listening to your story, what I'm hearing is, yeah, they're my reason for doing better, because not only for myself, but for them as well. Um, and I know things weren't always easy or smooth sailing. I'm sure that you'd get 5 steps ahead and something would come and knock you back 3 steps. So, I mean, how did you build the resilience along the way? How did you handle those challenges that came out of nowhere and threw you back a couple of steps?
I just would always like I'm a person that I always like think I try to think like two step like whenever I do stuff I try to look at okay scenario A, scenario B, and then I also do that in my work as well. I mean
Mhm.
my supervisors they're like, man, you're an overachiever. I'm like, no, I just want people, especially with the industry that we work in, to feel like I'm not here to judge. I'm here to either build you and
Mhm.
it's either going to work or you're going to get reunified with your kids. Or if it happens to work out where you don't get reunified with your kids, you'll at least be ahead in life and know, hey, my kid's in a better place, but now I'm not going to let that hinder me. I'm going to keep doing whatever I have to do in life. And hey, maybe later on down the line, I can try again to get my kid back, go to court or something, do something like that. I just, I don't know. That's just been my personality. Like I just try and I mean, I definitely have bad days. And a
Mhm.
lot of people
Mhm.
like your social media don't seem like it, but I mean, I just take it and I just try. Like I backstep and I'm like, okay, let's try to build this avenue and do it. Or maybe reach out to my pastor or just some of my friends. Like I have, I mean, I've just been blessed with like the support system that I have that I always try to like re-navigate the stuff. Or if it's
Mhm.
something like say I have a big bill, I try to, okay, let's try to rearrange this stuff or work an extra job or something, or just trying to find an avenue for me to gear towards my goal that I'm doing. I'm pretty, I don't like to delegate. So I just do it myself. Like sometimes I stress myself out trying to do so much, but I just
Mhm.
been blessed with the skill where I try to navigate and just figure it out.
Wow.
But mainly it's prayer, for a lot of prayer and just as stuff that other people has taught me, I try to use it in my life and just, I don't know, just that's what I do.
So, Tiffany, let me ask you, how do you redefine success on your own terms?
Um, I would say, sorry, I did write this question down. Um, I would say people, and I just redefine it with like my own personal values and my other aspiration and adherence of transition definition. Just the other. I focus on creating a meaningful change like in the community and to others and just ensure that I'm thriving on the crafting a better version of myself. So
Mm.
like I always try to say, hey, this event wasn't good. So what can I do to always try to better it?
Mhm.
And just use that as my own experiences and my goals that I try to meet. I always try to do something better than what I did. Hey, I don't like this, or just using my feedback that others give me, and then I give myself. I critique myself worse than anybody else. So I just build from that and try to grow.
And I think that's all we can do is just
Yeah.
be better the next time, just be better the next time. So, what inspiration would you or motivational speech would you give to someone who is going through something similar?
I didn't write that question down. I would say just to embrace yourself. I mean, as your own individual,
Mhm. Mhm.
like just believe in yourself. Don't give up. Ask questions. Like I hate to ask questions, but the worst a person can tell you is no. But then when that person tells me a no, like that's my motivation to always just go a step and beyond and research it and do what I want to do for myself to make me successful.
Mm.
and just try to move over the curve. Just don't give up and just keep faith. Like everything's not going to be a straight line, because if we were all the same, we are all perfect, the world would be a mess. Just stay faithful to yourself and don't give up. Like you may not have it immediately. I'm not where I want to be, and I'm the CEO of 3 companies, and I still work a full-time job, but just give it up. When it's your time to come, just you stay focused and just use that time when it comes to you to thrive. And I would say just be successful.
Mm. That is so empowering. It really is. I love that. Um, and I like that you mentioned to ask questions, because when we don't ask questions, it's almost like you're telling yourself you're not worth it.
Yeah.
Because the answer is no until you put yourself out there regardless. But if they come back with a no, I can't, then you just know you're that much closer to a yes, because somebody's going to tell you yes. You just got to keep going for
Yeah.
sure. So I love that. So Tiffany, if someone wanted to get in touch with you outside of this podcast, how can they do that?
They can go to my website at Brittany and Devin's Angels. There's my website. They can link to me on any questions it has, any options that's available for you, like the budgeting classes, the resume classes. I do occasionally help other organizations, like with event planning when I do events. So on my website, you can chat with me there, or it'll come to my email. Any one of my business Facebook pages. I'm trying to gear away from my personal page and just use my business pages, but they can definitely go to any of my websites, and just contact me there. I would say the best way to get a hold of me, because it just comes directly to my phone or email.
Okay, great. Well, you heard it here, friends. Tiffany Lilly Essex. She is a woman on the rise for sure. Look for her locally here, Lubbock, Texas. But also, I'm pretty sure that there's big things ahead of her. She probably hasn't shared just yet, but I'm excited to get to know her and have her on this show. All right, friends. Well, you know who I am. I'm Angelina Mojica, your life coach, sending you much love, much peace, many blessings.
Thank you.